Good afternoon, everyone. As many of you know, I've dedicated my life in the fight against climate change and in protecting the environment for Canadians. I have worked on this in my previous life before I was in politics. And in politics, obviously, it has been the cornerstone of just about everything I have done. We are seeing the impacts of climate change every day in Canada and around the world. We could talk about the forest fires in California, forest fires we've seen here in Canada, atmospheric rivers, storms, surges in Canada and all around the world. And the cost of climate change is increasing. It's increased by tenfold in the last decade alone in Canada. This is something that Canadians are faced with and are paying for day in and day out. We have an important decision to make as part of the leadership race of the Liberal Party of Canada by March 9th. And I'm here to tell you today that I will be offering my support to Mark Carney.
Wanted to get your thoughts on Mark Carney and your relationship with him while you were Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and any advice you have to Canadians who think he might make a good Prime Minister.
Well, Mark Carney was Governor of the Bank of England, and under his tenure, too much money was printed, which did damage to the British economy and put our economy off track. He, at the last election, endorsed Rachel Reeves' economic policy. She's now become Chancellor. It's been a disaster for Britain. The country is heading for bankruptcy.
I've known Mark for many years. We've worked together on issues of green energy, transition, fighting climate change, and the role of the financial sector in fighting climate change. Mark has worked to mobilize actors all around the world. He's a special advisor to the UN Secretary General on the issue of climate change and green financing. He has the experience, he has the background, he's navigated crisis when he was at the Bank of Canada, the Bank of England.
Mark Carney was Governor of the Bank of England, and under his tenure, too much money was printed.
And I know he's the right person to help bring us into the next phase of our work to support Canadians, to build a strong economy and to fight climate change. Thank you. Merci.
Are you okay with getting rid of the carbon tax?
As I said yesterday, my statement to many of you yesterday was a difficult one. I continue to believe that the consumer price on pollution is one of the best tools we have to fight climate change. It's not the only one. We also have an industrial component to it, to carbon pricing, which is very important, which gives us the bulk of our emission reduction. But our plan is not based on one single measure. Our plan to fight climate change is based on 100 of different measures that we've put in place. And I will continue to work with Mr. Carney to ensure that if we don't go ahead with the consumer carbon price, that we have something else in place that will both help Canadians with affordability, but that will also help us to achieve our 2030 targets.